Hello YouTube, my name is Sarah and welcome to the holiday season. It is officially December and I'm bringing you some festive fun for this holiday season. Me personally, I celebrate Christmas with my family. I'm very traditional with my family for Christmas, and today I thought that I would bring you a festive themed build. So we're gonna get right into the speed build because you're gonna see me from start to finish create this lot in The Sims 4. So I was inspired to make this festive lot by what I did literally yesterday. So I got my Christmas tree and put my Christmas tree up and decorated my Christmas tree, and it is very traditional for me to do that, especially with my family as well, because I have so many memories growing up of getting the Christmas tree and decorating it and all of that fun stuff. That really is like the beginning of the holiday season for me. It marks the official beginning. Once that tree is up, it's the beginning of the season. So I was inspired to build a Christmas tree farm in The Sims 4 because specifically my family, we've always gotten actual pine trees from a Christmas tree farm and had real trees for our Christmas trees ever since I can remember, and even still to this day. I decided that I wanted to build a Christmas tree farm in The Sims 4, but I specifically wanted to make it very reminiscent to the Christmas tree farms that I myself have been to. So if you've been to a Christmas tree farm before and you perhaps live in a different part of the world, maybe your experience is different, maybe your Christmas tree farms are different, I don't know. I'm just building this Christmas tree farm based on the experiences that I've had and the Christmas tree farms that I have been to. So I specifically have 3 Christmas tree farms local to where I live, and I've been to all of them throughout my life. 2 of them are like farms that are set up, that are dedicated farms that you would go to that just have Christmas trees everywhere, and then they also have this like gift shop in this fake barn, and that's what I specifically wanted to do for this video. You'll see I've already built the fake barn because all of these Christmas tree farms that I've been to that have the fake barns, they are very much a fake barn. They were built to kind of look like a real barn, but they're not an actual barn. They're just like a little square that looks kind of like a barn to sell the novelty giftwares from, and where you actually do like the purchasing of the Christmas trees from. So I wanted to make this fake barn and then have a whole heap of different sized pine trees on this Christmas tree lot, which you'll be seeing. I'm placing them all now. We've got some really big ones, and then I did like some separated zones where you've got smaller ones and are done by size, because that is also very reminiscent to the Christmas tree farms that I've been to in my life as well, where you have a whole heap of different size and they're all kind of laid out in their specific sizes depending on their state of growth. So you can get some really little itty bitty ones, and you can get some freaking massive ones as well. The issue that I had after placing all of these trees though was when I went back down to have a look at it, I realized, looking at the top of the tallest trees compared to the top of the barn that I'd built, the fake barn anyway, that they were too big, because if you were to buy one of these Christmas trees that I'm placing right now, you wouldn't actually be able to fit them in your house. You'd have to do like a chop off the top and pretend it's coming through the roof. Like I've seen some Christmases ago, I saw like a post going around of someone who'd done that, and it looked really cool, but I decided to make all of the trees smaller so that they would be perhaps a little bit more realistic. Now obviously with this build, it's not actually functional in the sense of you're going to buy one of these trees. It just looks like it. So the part of this build that is functional is actually the barn itself, because I've decided to make this a retail lot. You will need Get to Work if you want this to be a functioning retail lot for you. And basically the barn has all of these novelty Christmas items like decorations and ornaments and all this stuff that you could buy, because that is also super realistic to the Christmas tree farms that I've been to in my life, where basically the inside of these fake barns are like decked out head to toe in a whole heap of Christmas ornaments that you can buy, and they're very pricey actually, but I suppose considering that their trade really is through Christmas, the only way to keep themselves in business is to have them be a little bit more pricey, that's all. So I wanted to do the barn absolutely decked out, no walking space at all, because that was also really realistic to these shops. Is there's pretty much no walking room. There's stuff just everywhere, crammed in everywhere, and when there's people people in there, you really can't walk in these places. It's just so full of stuff. So that's really what I wanted to do for this barn. But you'll see that I've been into debug a couple times. You'll see a few extra things laying about. So I went into debug and I got some fencing to go around, which is really cool. I love debug for that kind of stuff. I wish we had some more things that the Sims team use in the debug menu available to use in the normal menu. Like, for example, the terrain tools that they use, like to get the gravel that's on the outside of this lot. I really would have loved to have been able to continue that into my parking lot, but I had to use what we had, which was just gravel in our terrain tools, and it just doesn't quite look that good. I just wish I would have been able to use the terrain tools that they have to be able to continue that and have it be a seamless look, but it's totally fine. I've also been into debug and grabbed a couple of the pine trees that they have in debug, and you'll see as I'm placing them, they've got a weird shadow around them, and that's because debug items are kind of not actually meant to be used at all, so you can't change things like the size of them without them being a little bit funky. But I did just place a couple of the debug trees in just because I thought to have some variety on them would be really, really nice. So I've also got some cars, as you can see, and this is where I decided to use cottage living, because up until this point I'd only used seasons, get to work, and the base game. So I did use some cottage living as well, but I only used the debug of cottage living. So if you don't have cottage living, you don't actually need cottage living in order for this lot to work. It's just a couple of the debug things that you'll be missing, that's all. And I did that because I love the truck, first of all, but also the tractor. The tractor is a thing that is very realistic to the experiences that I've had at Christmas tree farms, where 2 out of 3 of them, you do have a tractor ride that you could go on. It was just pretty much like fun for the kids. You'd go on with the kids and then you'd go and you'd have a look and see if you could pick your Christmas tree from the tractor ride. It was really fun, just a nice little touch. So I wanted to use that tractor specifically, and then the truck was also really, really nice. So I've already been through and picked out a couple of the ornaments that I saw immediately that I knew that I wanted to put inside this barn for sale, because this is the retail part of this now, and now we're getting into the decorating. So the only thing that is required for a retail lot is a cash register. Everything else, you can put whatever else you like in there. You just have to have a cash register, obviously, for it to be a retail lot. So I've just put that in, and I knew that I wanted this barn to be very wooden, very cabin kind of esque, because that's what my experiences have been, and I was able to achieve that with the flooring. It looks really, really nice. So putting in, I got so excited when I got to decorate this part. I was feeling so festive already, considering I just decorated my Christmas tree and then I came and made this build. So I was feeling so festive, and just being able to see all of the beautiful trees that I got to put in here, the Nutcracker Man, all of that stuff, it just made me feel so festive, and I was just so stoked with this. So I am trying to get the layout of the store though. Like I said, I did want this to be packed out so that there was a lot to actually buy from this retail store, and you'll be seeing that I've got these wooden shelves that I've just put like presents in, and they look really, really nice, but unfortunately where you're able to actually put things on those shelves isn't great, and I wish that they would update that, because the way that things snap to it was just really, really weird. It meant that on these shelves in particular that I had a lot of gapping. I actually did end up changing those shelves because I just didn't like how little you could put on there to make them work. Everything in this store is for sale. So if you do decide to use this as a retail lot, you're gonna have a busy time, because there's everything inside this store is for sale. It's a lot. And even a couple of things on the outside are for sale as well. So you can of course change that if you want to. If you download this lot, you can change that of course. But I just wanted to make everything for sale because, again, that's what my experience was going to these Christmas tree farms. So I have already mentioned that you will need seasons and get to work in order for this lot to function like a retail store, and obviously you'll need seasons because it's all of the holiday themed stuff. And I've mentioned you'll need cottage living if you just want the debug stuff specifically, but there was a pack that I completely forgot about until halfway through this build, and that was the free holiday pack that we got like years and years and years ago. I don't even know if it's still available. I hope it is, because it has some really, really cute stuff. You'll see that I've changed a couple of things around, like the presents and stuff, and you'll see that there's a couple of very Australian inspired Christmas things, and I was so excited to see that, specifically with the surfing Santa, the Santa that's holding the surfboard, and then the snowman that's made of sand, so the Sandman. I saw those things and was so excited because they are obviously very, very heavily Australian inspired, because in Australia for Christmas we are in summer. And it's generally very warm on Christmas Day, so I'm dreaming of a white Christmas because It never happens here ever because it's summer, and songs like Let It Snow, like there's no point even really singing them in Australia because they don't make sense because it's the middle of summer. The holiday pack, the little free pack that we got, has some really, really amazing stuff. Like the presents that are here are so freaking cute. There's some more Nutcracker men that are more traditional looking. We've got the little holiday crackers, I guess they would be called, but we call them bonbons in Australia. Let me know what you call them around the world, or even if you use them, because I've heard that like America doesn't use bonbons. As someone who has had bonbons for literally every Christmas of my entire life, it just seems crazy to me because you pull the bonbon, you put on your Christmas hat, you read the funny haha joke that's not really a funny haha joke, and you get a little toy. So I don't know, what do you guys do if you don't have bonbons? That just seems crazy to me, but it's just really interesting how different cultures around the world experience the holidays. So we are getting close to fully furnishing the inside of this store though, and you'll be seeing, like I said, it is decked out. There is stuff everywhere. There is pretty much no walking room, and that is exactly the vibe that I was going for this retail store because it's just so perfect for the vision that I had. So again, I was having some issues with the way that things would snap to a couple of the shelves from Get to Work, which was really unfortunate, but we did get there in the end. So we're back onto the outside of the build now, putting in some little lanterns on string lights, and I did decide to make just this little section that's above the parking lot here into a little barbecue picnic section, because something else that was also like the experience for me whenever you would go to these Christmas tree farms, they would generally have like a sausage sizzle, and if you're Australian you know all about sausage sizzles, but maybe if you're from around the world maybe you don't know. Sausages in bread is a very big delicacy here in Australia. It's a cultural delicacy to have sausages in bread, and generally you would have a sausage sizzle at these Christmas tree farms, around other places as well. Like if you go to like the tool shop or Bunnings Warehouse, there's a sausage sizzle there every single Saturday, I swear. And it's just like the quintessential experience of going to a Christmas tree farm to get your sausage in bread, or to go to these warehouse stores to get your sausage in bread. And just finishing up the final little pieces now, I went back into debug and got a couple of things, and that is the end of the speed build. You got to see so much of this, and I was just having so much fun making this Christmas tree farm, but there were a couple of changes that I made to it after I made the speed build. So I am going to go into game, we're going to show you the finished product. Let's jump into The Sims 4, let's have a look at this completed Christmas tree farm. So here we are at my Christmas tree farm. Now it's a little bit hard to see the whole lot because it is a big lot. So I'm just going to come in a little bit closer. So there's the store there. We've got the parking lot over to the side here with a little barbecue area. I can't wait to talk about that because I've actually got something updated. You're probably seeing as we're panning past. And then we're getting to the big panel of Christmas trees in all of their different sizes. It is a gorgeous day here in Willow Creek. Even Agnes Crumplebottom is checking out those Christmas trees as she's walking past. She's checking them out. That's so cool. So this debug fencing straight away is amazing. I used it in my Scary Shack build as well. There's so much good stuff in debug, and even as you're coming up to the corner here, we've got this clump of pine trees that's from debug. The broken fence is from debug. We do also have this fencing that runs around the perimeter of the lot as well. That's also debug. But the thing with debug stuff, it's a little bit buggy. It's not actually functional. So I was waiting for the sun to come out and my sim went to go and get something to eat from the stall over there. As you can see, there she is. That's my sim self over there. And she walked through the fence. So it's a little bit funny in that way because it's not actually supposed to be used, but it just looks so good. And you'll be seeing a couple of the debug trees sticking out like a sore thumb in here. Let's talk about the barbecue area first, actually. So we've got the beautiful tables and chairs here, super fun, but then the barbecue area over here itself, I saw this awning thing. It's actually like a gate with an awning. It's from Cottage Living Debug, and I saw it when I was scrolling through debug earlier when I was making this Christmas tree farm, and thought it would be really, really cute as a covering, as an awning for a barbecue area, because where I live in Australia anyway, when we go to like the beach or parks or things like that, the public barbecues that are available at those locations, they kind of have an awning very very similar to this. So it's very reminiscent, again, of my experience going to public places and having a public barbecue area. So I thought that would just be super cute. I have play tested this. It is all completely functional, which is amazing. And something else I didn't mention in the speed build as well is around the back of the barn here, we do have some public toilets. So there are toilets on this lot as well, which is fantastic. We will get to the barn now, the retail store. So you can see that I decorated it with some red and green icicle lights. I did that with the attic stack decoration box. So you can change the decorations for this barn if you would like to, the attic stack decoration box. It's hiding in amongst the pine trees there, so you can just drag it out and change the decorations, but I just thought this was really, really cute. So straight away, we are already seeing things here that are for sale though. So the wooden reindeers in the brown and in the white, they're for sale. The snowmen that are there are for sale. The wreath that's above the doorway is for sale as well. Isn't this view just the best? Like coming in through the front doorway, this view is just the coolest. Is that just not so holly and jolly and festive? I just freaking love this. So let's go inside and take a look. All of this stuff that you're seeing again is for sale. I love the shelving in the end. This front display is probably the best with the Nutcracker men in the background. So freaking cool. So these Christmas trees in the corners are for sale, and this Christmas tree in the middle is also for sale, but I figured that along the way it might get a little bit decorated before it gets sold. I don't know, because it is the one that you decorate yourself. And then we do have over here the nod to the Australian Christmas that I love, the Surfer Santa and the Sandman. I just love that. So good. And a little nod to an Australian Christmas. I love that I was able to include that. And then if we have a look back towards the entry doorway, the Christmas trees that are in these corners are also for sale. So there's multiple different Christmas trees that are on offer in this store. And also like all of the bunting that you're seeing, all of the garlands and the bunting that you're seeing on the roof is all for sale. Everything in this store is for sale except for two things. So you're going to be very, very busy if you own this store and actually use it as a store. But the two things that are not for sale are these two square garlands that are behind the counter here. These two square ones that are supposed to frame a window or a door, but I just couldn't get them to work for the windows and the doors that I had here. So I just put them back here underneath the garlands, the roof garlands, because they look so good. They're so festive and I couldn't not include them. They look so good. They are the only two things in this store that are not for sale. Everything else in this store is for sale. It is amazing. I love it. I do feel it's rather unfortunate to the snapping of items on these shelves though. I wish we had more options, because even on the top shelf, there's only that one space in the middle that items would snap to. It was really, really unfortunate. I would have loved to have been able to jam pack these shelves. It just wasn't possible. I'm really, really sorry about that. But here we are. That is my Christmas tree farm. I abso-freaking-lutely love this whole place. My vision well and truly came to life. This is so accurate to the Christmas tree farm experiences that I've had throughout my life. I'm so glad that I was able to bring that to The Sims 4. So like I've mentioned throughout this video, I've hinted at it anyway, it is going to be available for download on the gallery. So if you would like to download it for yourself, my gallery ID is sezrawrr, the same way that it's spelled here. You'll find it on my gallery under Christmas Tree Farm. Pretty identifiable from that. As I've mentioned, it is a retail lot, so in order for it to function as a retail lot, you will need the Get to Work pack. I also feel that Seasons is essential as well, just because the string lights and the majority of the things that are even in the store are Seasons related. So Seasons and Get to Work are the packs that I feel are essential for this build. Cottage Living is there as well, but I literally only use debug stuff from Cottage Living, so you don't need Cottage Living in order for this lot to actually work, and you don't need the celebration, the holiday celebration pack that was free either if you don't have it. There's just a couple of things that will be missing, like the Surfing Santa and the Sandman. They're part of the free holiday celebration pack, so I don't know if that pack's available anymore. I don't know if you can get it, but I hope that you can, because it really enriches this lot, and it also has so many cute holiday themed items that then were expanded upon in Seasons, but you've got some really nice coloring in a couple of those items in that free pack as well. So it is also on a 50 by 50 lot. I personally built this in the park in Willow Creek. There's also a 50 by 50 park in Oasis Springs, and throughout the other worlds there's some 50 by 50 lots as well. So you could place this. I know there's one in Henford on Bagley, and I feel like this would be really, really cute in Henford on Bagley, but I decided to just make this in Willow Creek because I could also picture this in Willow Creek as well. So 50 by 50 lot, it is huge, but it just is so perfect, and I'm really, really happy with how it turned out. But you guys, that's all I've got for this video of building a Christmas tree farm in The Sims 4. I hope that you enjoyed this build. I had the most fun with it, and I'm so glad that I was able to bring my vision to life. So what I would love to know from you guys is, do you have Christmas tree farms where you are? And if so, are they similar to what I've just built in The Sims 4? Because I feel like mine is like the quintessential Christmas farm experience for Australia. But depending on where you are in the world, you might be in winter, so snow might be involved. So let me know if you have a similar Christmas tree farm experience to mine in the comments down below. But guys, I hope that you enjoyed the beginning of my festive themed videos. I've got a couple more coming for you, and I'm really, really excited for them. So if you'd like to see them or any of my other Sims 4 content throughout the rest of the year, hit the subscribe button down below and hit the notification bell next to it to be notified of every time that I upload. And if you liked this video, let me know by hitting the like button down below and leave me a comment as well. Let me know what you thought of my Christmas tree farm build. But guys, I hope you're having a very festive day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!